Yo, what's up and welcome back to my channel. My very first live stream, man. I'm so excited. It's your boy Chris Keys. I'm trying to do something special for you guys. I've been working very hard these last couple days. That's why I haven't been posting as many videos. I've been working trying to get this live stream set up, man. OBS. This is my second time, just to let you know, some of you guys might have tuned in. I had some technical difficulties. I don't think you guys were hearing me on the last time I tried to do the live stream. So hopefully everything is looking good, working right, and streaming right. Comment below and let me know. Let me know, guys. I mean, look, it's a lot of stuff. Like, it literally, if I show you, and I will probably show you guys, like, eventually everything that's all these wires and everything that's going on, but literally if you saw everything behind the camera, you would be like, okay, that's crazy. But for the most part, guys, man, welcome to the Chris Keys show. I don't even know what to call it. What are we gonna call this show? But yeah, man, we're just gonna have a live vibe. We're just gonna hang out. I got my my headlines up here, trying to be fancy. I didn't want to just come with the regular stream. That's cool, but I wanted to do something special for you guys. So I'm organized. So obviously I'm talking about my first stream. I'm using OBS right now, but later on the show, we're going to get into it, man. We're going to cover these LA fires, man. What's going on with all that and how can that affect the music industry? Also going to talk about Lupe Fiasco. Man, I was reading some cool stuff on him. I might be late to the game, but Lupe Fiasco, he's doing some really nice stuff, man, with AI, using AI to create some music. And man, we'll get into it. But yeah, we're going to do the marathon. I was talking about the Austin Marathon. That's coming up. With like a month away. Anybody that's in Austin or anybody that ever runs marathons, we're going to cover that. What's your thoughts on that? Because we don't just talk about music. We talk about money and mindset, and health is wealth. No matter what field you're in, definitely having some type of physical activity. And speaking of the Austin Marathon, I'm running the Austin Marathon. This will be my second time. I ran it last year, but we'll cover that also, and talk about Pro Tools. I did a video, I think it was a couple days ago, but I did a video talking about Pro Tools and is it the best DAW? Is it still the industry standard? So we'll go over that. But once again, my name is Chris Keys. I'm just going to give you un poco más, just a little bit more. But yeah, let me know, guys, how's the stream looking? How's it sounding? Is it sounding good? Is it a delay? I'm using a lot of software technology, and I don't even know if I still got all of it hooked up right. I'm using OBS. It's a free software that you can get. But just because it's free doesn't mean it's easy. But I'm incorporating probably like 4 or 5 different softwares and all the stuff you see, like the animation. I mean, these are like overlays you got to build and color matching, and it's a lot, guys. But I'm excited to be doing it. Welcome to the show. Leave a comment. What should I call the show? The Chris Keys Morning Show? I can't call it the morning show because more than likely I will not be doing shows in the morning. I'm not a morning person. I'll wake up. Last night I was up till 7 in the morning working on this live stream, getting all this set up. But yeah, leave some comments. I want this to be a community driven show. I'm still going to do my tutorials and everything, but I'm definitely going to spend some time talking live and spending time with the community. But with that being said, guys, I hope y'all are blessed and thankful. There's so much going on in the world. Man, these LA fires, I was just thinking, I was like, man, the music community is, LA is a music hub, right? It's one of the top hubs out there for music. And I was like, man, if LA is kind of going through it, like, how does that affect the music industry, But yeah, so let's go ahead and move on to the next topic. We got our LA fires, but I was thinking, I have some friends out there, it looks like it was a serious thing, and I felt like one of my friends was out there and he was just joking about how people weren't really taking it as serious as they should be. Anytime there's a drastic event like that, I think we all should be considerate and thoughtful, and just know that, man, like anything like that can happen to any of us at any given time, and we shouldn't take it for granted. This is just me talking off the top of my head, but I think anybody with common sense can agree with me on that. Yeah. But let's go into some of the feeds and see what the people are saying. I just wanted, like I said, this is all live, but I wanted to see what the musicians might be saying around LA, and I don't think everybody was affected, but let's just see what's going on with that. All right, so I'm still working my live feed, so let's see if I can transition this thing. All right, so here we go. All right. So I'll just pull up. This is one of the musicians.
As these fires continue to rage on, and a lot of people are leaving scared, full of anxiety, worried about everything that they'll need to do if they return back to nothing.
To nothing if they lose everything. We're joined now by a musician who packed up his most valuable instruments and his pets, left his home in Topanga Canyon last night. David Block, thank you very much for being with us.
And one thing I can say, guys, and we'll kind of get into it, but I'm still trying to figure out what's up with these insurance companies and these fires. Like, that's what makes it kind of. I'm not going to get into it. Let's get see what this musician went through.
How are you doing?
I'm having a mixed bag. We just tried to go back to our place to grab some last minute things and make sure we got some of our most valuable things out. And although it's stuff, it's, we were just crying driving in, watching the fire come down the hillside and burn our community. I'm not seeing a lot on the news yet about Topanga Canyon, which I'm guessing will probably come pretty shortly, or maybe that's me right now. But it was pretty devastating.
Any word on your home, music equipment, studio, anything?
We were there about a half hour. We got back in to make sure that we could make sure that everything was.
I think he was one of the most fortunate ones. I don't think he.
It's okay.
I don't think he suffered as much as other people. When I mean suffered, not saying he wasn't affected, because you got to believe. You still got to remember, guys. People did lose everything, so their home, could be all the way to the ground with ashes. We've seen those pictures, but you got to think though, anything that's beside it. Have you guys ever barbecued? You don't even have to really be barbecuing, but anything around that's going to smell like smoke, it's going to get all that black tar and stuff on it. So even though his house didn't burn down, he's probably, if it was that close, he was probably still affected.
That's closest to the beach. But as we were looking up the Fernwood community, it looked like it was just being destroyed. So our home is okay. The flames were like, 600 feet from our house when we left, but it was hard to tell what was going to happen because the wind was blowing the fire away. But it's a canyon and it's just like a little tinderbox. So we're just praying right now.
Amen. We're seeing these pictures, on screen. It's terrifying. It's terrifying. You're there in the middle of what is one of the great natural disasters in recent American history. What is that experience like? I hate to ask it this way, but up close.
I mean,
it's interesting because we've always had it in our mind when we moved to this part of Los Angeles that was a possibility, but we love the community there so much, and it's just so incredibly beautiful. You have all the nature and the hiking trails and little restaurants where they know you by your name, and it's just this magical.
That is the one thing I will say that'll be
community. I feel
that is the one thing that I think will be hard for a lot of people is adjusting. Some people, they might not decide to go back to the same community. It might be too much for them to relocate to try to rebuild all over again, or it just might be too much of an emotional burden for them to go back and just think about all of the disasters and personal belongings and sentimental stuff that might have been destroyed during the
like
fire.
Of Los Angeles. And yeah, my girlfriend and I driving in, we're just like weeping, crying. It's just like, I mean, it's unimaginable, to be totally honest. It's like one of those things that you try to prepare, we're prepared for, like that we have to leave at some point and that this could be a thing, but it just made us feel so much.
And I'm just asking, guys. Like, I mean, I'm 40 something years old, and I know I was a kid and I was into sports and I was just kind of playing around. Didn't have my responsibilities, but I don't remember these disasters coming up like this as often when I was growing up. These are just like I mean, we having hurricanes. I mean, it was just not too long ago. A few months ago, we had the hurricanes on the East Coast. Now we have the West Coast fires. I mean, just y'all comment below. Let me know, like, do y'all remember as much disasters going? Is this a part of global warming? Is this like what is causing more of the natural disaster? When I say natural, I'm talking about the earth, wind, fire, or is this stuff man made? I mean, is this stuff being propped up by without
care for all the animals that can't get out and
natural
horses in our neighborhood
beings?
Just wanting our community to come together.
I'm not trying to get into the
strong
conspiracy
after this.
theories, but
So
I'm just asking.
It's like
One of the other-
unimaginable, really.
Well, the other story that we're already talking about are the number of people that don't have insurance. There are a lot of carriers that pulled insurance from folks throughout the Los Angeles area. How about you? Do you have insurance? Yes or no? And where do you go from here?
I mean, insurance
I
still
have
isn't going to
insurance that will
cover
cover a small fraction
everything.
of the amount of stuff
Like I
that we
just
have.
said,
I mean, we
I
try
mean,
to
for
go
a lot
get
of
out
people,
irreplaceable items.
insurance
I
won't
have
really do
like
much.
100-year-old guitars, but and things like that. But yeah, we're fortunate enough to have some insurance, but it's not gonna. I mean, it's gonna cover a small fraction. So I'm not even quite there yet. But I mean, I think in general,
And I didn't
people,
realize I was
even
covering up old
with
buddy's
good
face.
insurance plans.
Like I said,
I
I'll
mean,
give-
California is just kind of
I'll
been a
work
little
on the
bit brutal
stream
with,
and get that
understandably
better.
because these areas are so high risk. And so I'm not totally sure what we're going to do, to be honest. Right now we're praying and we're surrounding our home with light and envisioning that all of our neighbors are safe, even though we saw that a lot of them definitely don't look that way. And
tell you-
we're just going to, yeah.
Well, I was just thinking you're a musician, and I'm imagining right now, I'm thinking positively, that when all is said and done, you are going to write a song. You're going to come together with fellow musicians, and there's going to be a fundraiser for those that need the most support. And that's going to be the next interview we're doing with you, David Block.
I actually just hosted. I spent a lot of time in the Southeast in Asheville, North Carolina, and I hosted a benefit concert a couple months ago, and we raised like $8,000 for local artists in the Southeast.
I think that's probably, you probably will. She is right. I'm thinking we probably will see some benefit programs and stuff like that going on. But guys, this is it's tough. This is one of the tough ones that I think we are going to see people come together. I think we're going to see how strong America really is. And when I say that, I'm saying that, meaning that it's going to take all of us to come together and do our part. Yeah, very drastic on the LA fires. I'm actually going to be out there next week. Hopefully I'm still out there. I mean, I thought about canceling my flight, but I'm actually not going to be in the LA area the whole time. I'm actually going to the Anaheim area for the NAM. It's called the NAM. If anybody's familiar with that, it's going to be in Anaheim. A great music festival or event for a lot of musicians, music merchants to get together, to network. Just a lot of good friends that around the industry, touring artists, musicians to get together and have a good time. So if anybody's in the LA area, if you do, have some type of benefit, something going on that could help those that are in need while I'm in town, definitely, like I said, leave a comment below. Let me know what you have going on. I'll check it out and seeing if I can be a part or do anything while I'm in the area and hit the ground running, helping out while I'm there. All right, next up on the keys method, or I don't know what we're going to, once again, guys, what are we going to call this show? I'm still trying to figure out what we're going to call the show. But next up, I want to talk about Lupe Fiasco. Lupe Fiasco. Man, I might be late to the game because the more I looked into this, the more I recognized that Lupe is actually, he's been doing this thing for quite some time. And but yeah, Lupe Fiasco's been not doing his thing, but he's been actually doing stuff with AI and working with, I believe it was like MIT College or one of these higher end colleges, working on using AI and incorporate that into his music. It says right here, Lupe Fiasco launching a radio station that will play AI versions of his music. This was published January the 3rd. But Lupe Fiasco has announced the AI-powered radio stations he's dubbed Endless LUP, Endless L up, Lupe up, Endless Loop, Endless Loop, Endless Loop. That will soon see its way to FM dials. In a post to Instagram, Lupe revealed that the platform will be rolled out in 2025. Imagine if there was a 24-hour fully AI-powered radio station trained on the inner races of my rapping abilities and was carefully refined to produce the highest quality possible Lupe Fiasco songs, he said. Now imagine it only play and generate songs once and never again, endlessly. Now imagine the radio station was only available for certain periods of time and only in a certain location, and you needed the actual FM radio to hear the songs. Imagine I put a team together at MIT, and imagine we actually built it. Endless Loop coming soon. What do you guys think about that? Like, I've done a couple of videos in the past, and I'm a firm believer that we're here on this earth, and there's really nothing new on this earth. It's just we just take things and just keep making it better. You know, we make a 1-star product, a 2-star product, and then that 2-star product, a 3-star product, and a 3-star product, a 4 and a 5, till we get to a 5-star product. But honestly, it's the 5-star product new. It's the same product. It's just been tweaked and probably took away, added some things. But what did it take away? It probably took away some of the old things that it learned and added some new tools that was created over time. I think that's what AI really is, you know, and I feel we're just going through another cycle. Now, with it being said, every time we go through a cycle, somebody's always going to come up and it's always going to be, somebody, it's the end of the world type of theory. You know, when cable came out, it was the end of the world. And I remember when the internet came out, dial-up, AOL, and now it's like the year 2000 was the end of the world. And here's 2025. The new internet is AI. It's just smarter. Somebody took the internet where I could send emails and eventually search the World Wide Web for information. Now, instead of me searching the World Wide Web, I'm just going to have AI search it for me, right? So it's still the web. It's still information that's accessible to everybody else. It's just how I use the tools out there to get to the end result. Back in the day when they built houses, in the ancient times, they used a hammer made out of rock. I don't think any real successful businessman, carpenter friend, anybody that I don't think you're going to be like, hey man, let's stick to the old ways and get a hammer that's made out of rock. I think people are going to use the common update tools once they learn how to use it. I'm pretty sure when the hammer first came out, people who didn't understand it or know how to use it, they probably gave some resistance to that, right? And I think that's what we have going on right now in AI, especially when it comes to music production, because music producers, we're so hands-on, like we got to make, and you had that controversy of did you make the beat, did you use a loop, did you use a sample and all that. So I think ultimately, as long as we're creating and using these skills effectively that we have, I don't think there's nothing wrong with Lupe using the AI to do what he needs to do. So shout outs to Lupe Fiasco. Like I said, the more I looked into this, the more I found out that Lupe is actually a teacher at school, or doing a corporate. So that's very.
8 studio albums that run from Food and Liquor to this year's Drill Music in Zion. Colleagues, neighbors, friends. Here's Lupe Fiasco.
Fast forward a little bit, see.
And then we'll do another jump. And that'll be.
Okay, we'll do a quick bio. Let me just skip forward a little bit. I'm interested to see what type of classes or what would you get in a rap class? Like if you was teaching music, like I have some ideas. I'm interested to see
what it means to be for them, right?
What he's.
But it's also really, really sexy, I think, right? This idea of defining it by its own structures, what's already there, right? Not trying to go too far out and make it something that it's not. Like, can we define it within its own terms? And then what is the process to get to that? right?
I don't know
What
about you
happens when
guys,
do
but
that?
maybe I just watch so much
Doing that.
YouTube that I can't watch anything on regular speed. So I'm actually going to speed this
Right?
up a little
What
bit
happens,
and
what happens
see.
when you get your job description? What happens? What is the mechanisms and the tools and what changes? Right? So it's meant to constantly be fine. And then do, right? What does it mean?
Hey man, I don't know if it was a setup. Just looking at the background, I don't think all that stuff on the chalkboard behind him has anything to do with his class of music. But once again, man, shout out to Lupe, man, for shout out to Lupe, man. Put some energy up. Figure it out, man. Go ahead, Lupe, talk to me.
Based. So, shapes and details, right? Sometimes we get this confused when we talk about rap, right? I like to keep things very fundamental, very simple, very basic. We can get complex later. We're already complex. That's the problem. Too complex, right? We need to dumb it down.
I think that's facts.
I like to do it. To me, this is very clean, right? The metaphor or the analogy.
Let's go to Kendrick Lamar, see what he's talking about with Kendrick Lamar.
So I say, I reveal, that you didn't know you just ate yourself. The words says, oh shit, it was you. Kendrick in his genius. He's writing a letter in the person as if he's the guy. And he's like, hey, if I see your album come out, do. You just hit a series of gunshot and it stops. The beat keeps going. So he dies. Right? If I live to see your album, I just want you to do. Repetition, block, break structure. In the class, study this. Right? We'll take examples. We'll set themes. Okay, we'll talk about surprise.
I'm trying to see where he's going with this.
And execute. And we'll use this particular.
I'm really
right?
anxious to see where he's going with
end on
this.
Kendrick Lamar, right? And show you different ways to navigate and assess and hopefully accomplish that process in your own way. You can talk about what you want. You can talk about 3 little things you want. That's the rhyme. Sometimes asking to tweet. It's not a surprise, right? I call them primes because I like sound smart, mathematical. But fundamental rap primes, just one surprise. There's different ways, there's different mechanisms, different approaches to generate surprise, right? To navigate through it, right? To process it. The hope would be the same way that you did the acronym for rap.
I think,
you do that for surprise.
I
Right?
think
you
Lupe.
look at this single word, single concept, and you approach it from all different angles and ways to try and hack it, right? Come up with new knowledge.
I think Lupe, man, I think he's gonna do some cool stuff, man. I really do. I really think I think it's important to kind of get people on the same page and let them understand, the importance of hip hop. Like, we really could get back to the basics. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. It would be nice to get back to the basics and let's get the next generation an idea what, at least a good foundation of what hip hop is supposed to be, man. Like, what we supposed to be doing. And sorry I'm talking like this, guys. Like I said, I'm trying. You can see me messing up a little bit. I'm still on my first stream. Shout out to me on my first stream. Can I get some love, please? But once again, I'm running OBS, so I'm trying to get everything. I'm trying to get all of the different sound. I mean, the screens. I'm flipping back in screens, trying to get the audio, just everything hooked up together. So yeah, bear with me on this, man. But thank y'all for the ones sticking around. Once again, my name is Chris Keys. Welcome to we don't even know the name of the show. Y'all gotta help me out, but we're gonna call it the Chris Keys morning show in the evening, the Keys method. But yeah, let's go on to the next topic. Headline here. We're talking about the Austin Marathon, guys. Hey man, I'm excited about this one. As I say, health is wealth. Anytime you can move your body, that's definitely a good thing for you. So, we don't want you to be out here and be no bump on the law. That's no good, right? So definitely. Anybody in the Austin area who's run the Austin Marathon, this is actually a challenging course. I ran it last year. Last year I did the half marathon, and that's the half. So that was about 13 miles. So it was pretty cool. It got me a little medal. Hold on, let me show y'all. Let's see. Yeah, so I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but I ran the half marathon last year, and yeah, man, it was fun, man. That was my first time being around. It was about 20,000 people almost running the marathon. So that was my first time actually being. Anytime you around a group of people sharing the same energy, it's definitely going to be something to experience with that. So but yeah, the Austin Marathon this year, I'm doing the full marathon, so I'm doing twice as much as I did last year. And I ain't gonna lie, when I finished last year, I was about to die. Sheesh. You gotta realize I did play basketball growing up, but we did like shorter events, sprints. Never did more than like 5 miles in my life at one particular time. So to go from 5 to 13, now to go from 13 to 26 miles. Pray for your boy. Pray for your boy, man. I'm gonna need all the help I could get, man. But it should be fun, man. It should be fun. So the Austin Marathon is coming up in about a month away. So you'll probably be seeing me doing some videos, training, working around town with some people, doing some running together on that type of stuff. So, but yeah, man, if anybody's in the Austin area, or if anybody runs marathons and y'all are coming to run the Austin Marathon, because you got to remember, this is a major event, major run. So some people all over the world are actually coming to Austin to run the event, not just for fun, but they're actually trying to qualify for the Boston Marathon. So you're going to have serious competitors, people that you'll later see on TV probably running this marathon and everything. So shout out to everybody doing the Austin Marathon. If you're not doing the Austin Marathon, definitely still get out there, move your body, and health is wealth. So moving on to Pro Tools here. I did a video the other day talking about what DAW is the best DAW out there, and there was a big discussion on it, if Pro Tools was the still the industry standard, or if it's not. I want to say that Pro Tools, just a real recap, I'm not going to do the whole video on it, but Pro Tools, in my opinion, still is the industry standard. I think it's still going to be around in major studios for quite some time. I don't think it's going nowhere. It's just the flexibility that it has, but it's also the quality that it delivers in all ways, from music post-production houses to orchestra, to hip hop, EDM, everything. I think it's still going to be the standard for at least major studios, right? The question really can become, major studios for so long have been limited. It's just been very expensive to get into, and it hasn't been easy to access. So now you're really asking the question, okay, if 80 to 90% of the music that was released at one time was come through the majors, the standard will be whatever the major was, right? But over the last 20 years, we've seen independent artists being able to use several different platforms and release music on their own, by tomorrow, right? Whenever they want to. So what percentage of that, and I would think that I don't know the actual percentage, but just say it's what now, 50, 60% of music that's being released, maybe even more. that the tides have been turned. So the majority of music might be released now from the independent artists. So we have to really ask the question: it's a two-part question. We know the standard for the major industry, but what's the standard for the independent artists? What's the standard for home studios, home music producers? That's really the new standard. That's really what we're asking, because now majority of even these producers, artists, they're not going to the major studios to record no more. So they want to get something that's efficient, something that's flexible, something that's affordable. And you got to think Pro Tools, even though first of all, there is a learning curve to Pro Tools if you haven't worked with a DAW before. So that's number one, compared to something like a Ableton, something like a Fruity Loops. I feel like Logic is logical. You can literally just download Logic and start dragging and dropping in loops and start creating. They have the session drummer for you. So many different options for you. So Pro Tools, they have their tools, but we're talking about the technical thing. You have to really go in there and learn some stuff with Pro Tools. Number two, most of these DAWs, they just have one time you get a perpetuity license or forever license. So Pro Tools, they switched their business model to more of a subscription model. So instead of paying $200 or $250, $300, whatever for Logic, I think it's $199, right? So instead of paying $200 a one-time fee for Logic, I now got to pay $200 every year for Pro Tools. So that's not favorable when it comes to the average home music producer who just wants to start creating and releasing music as soon as possible. We went through a big era of sampling, when you want to use a sample and tweak it, change the tempo, change the key. Is Pro Tools the easiest software for the home producer? That's another question you have to ask. When it comes to live performance, a lot of people do use Pro Tools and stuff live, but I think Ableton's kind of winning the mark on that. So you just have all these different DAWs, and Ableton wasn't even around till like the mid 2000s, where Pro Tools came around in the early 80s. So or mid 80s at least. So you have a big discrepancies in these DAWs, but overall, I think my intake and what I've said before with everything is, if guys, if you are a creator, we have one job, and really everybody's job in life, or at least my belief is, how can I add value, in whatever way that may be. If you come in from a biblical standpoint, it said, if I was hungry, he gave me bread to eat. When I was thirsty, you gave me water. So I think that's the same thing with music industry. If you're a music producer and you're a creator and you're here to serve the music culture or artists, engineers, whoever you're working with at the time, it's like, hey, what if they're hungry for EDM and hip hop beat or a sound? It's good for me to maybe serve them in Fruity Loops, because Fruity Loops gives me that sort of distortion or little clipping sound that works, right? But at the same time, am I able to serve them water and give them a nice arrangement coming from Logic, right? So that was my intake, is, let's master what we're doing so we can add more value. And depending on the circumstances, any DAW can be the best DAW at that particular moment, right? But overall, it's kind of like just understanding your environment, your surroundings, and knowing that, hey, if I do go to a major studio, 9 times out of 10, they are going to have Pro Tools, and you'll probably need to be somewhere efficient and know how to move your way around in that. But 9 times out of 10, if I go to a home studio, they might not have Pro Tools. They might have all type of any other Cubase or something. So that was my take on that. But for the most part, guys, we just out here vibing. This is a live stream. Like I said, I wanted to come on here and just really test it out. You guys are kind of like my guinea pig, but man, I have so much fun on YouTube, and I'm really starting to enjoy YouTube and getting some feedback from you guys. And like I said, my main thing is just try to add value. So if I'm doing that, be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, you know, and give me some topics too, what you guys want to talk about. You know, I have all type of toys over here on OBS I want to mess with. I have the, you know, this is like a little chord sound I can make. You know, just I can sing a song. I can not sing a song, which you probably want me to do. But yeah, guys, I mean, this is going to be fun. I'm just on here streaming, but leave a comment. Let me know how to stream with. Let me know if it's tweaking a little bit, if it's stuttering a little bit, if I need to go in and change some settings. But if nothing else, I look forward to seeing you guys some more. I'm going to be doing some more of these streams. But man, when you live and don't have anything to say, it's like, how do I end the live stream, right? What's really crazy, let me tell you guys, like, I literally was live till, like I said, about 6 or 7 in the morning last night. But you know, like, you can live stream, but you can have it as private. So I was literally streaming. I've literally been streaming for the past day, literally all day. I'm almost like a Kaizen. Or one of these streamers that stream all day, play the video game all day. So maybe not as entertaining as them, you know, not yet to some, but it could definitely be fun. Just getting on here and just learning new software and technology, trying to add more value to each of you guys. So, but anyway, until next time, it's your boy Chris Keys. Just give you un poco más, a little bit. Hopefully next time we'll have a name for this drastically horrible show right here. I don't even know who would watch this, but anyway, I love you guys. Y'all stay up. Y'all stay safe. Stay sexy. Love you guys. Peace. And I'm supposed to end with some music, right? Got to end with some music. Hold on, let's end with some music. Hey, got to end with that music. And one more time for me on the full screen. You know, y'all like all my different screens too? Yeah, come in, let me know. These are, in OBS, these are called scenes. And maybe I'll do a breakdown of how I set up my OBS. There's thousands of different ways you can set it up, but yeah, I have, like, you know, a few different screens and countdowns to give you guys just a full entertaining show for spending time and watching your boy.